Good morning, it's Friday and yay! I actually have a computer to show you, a working computer, hopefully. Yesterday, my husband watched my broadcast and he said, why don't you switch from Chrome to Firefox, from Firefox to Chrome and see if... And, that did work. Uh-oh, just a second, let me fix the blinds. Okay, so I switched from Firefox to Chrome. I felt like I was breaking up with someone because I'd been with Firefox for so long, but I switched to Chrome and I had no problems yesterday, no problems. So I was very excited about that. Okay, so if you have been following along with the 5-day homemaking challenge, yesterday we were working on the books and I was also working on clothes because I did not get my clothes done because I took a day off earlier this week. If you would like to see my, oh my goodness, bad, awful attempt at trying to stand all of my clothes up in my drawer, guys, I don't know what I'm doing, but you can go to MoneySavingMom.com and you can laugh at me. There are lots of suggestions from people on how I can improve. So it was funny. I'm sitting there like trying to fold this stuff and I just like I'm fighting a losing battle, but I got them all standing up. But I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm doing here. So yeah, there's a tutorial on YouTube and I think I need to go check that out. So anyway, today we will be doing the last section of the life-changing magic of tidying up. If you missed this week and you'd like to go back, I have been doing pretty in-depth blogging on all of the sections and I've learned a lot. So that's all at MoneySavingMom.com. And also, yesterday I asked for you to pick our next book. Pick the book that I'm going to be going over next week. And so what do you think I chose? You all voted and the most votes were for Simply Tuesday by Emily Freeman. And so we are going to start going over Simply Tuesday by Emily Freeman next week. And so if you would like to follow along, I will be blogging through it, talking about it every day on my Periscopes, and I would love for you to join us. It is small moment living in a fast moving world, and I think that we could all benefit from what Emily has to share. And I've read bits and pieces of blog posts that she's done on this topic and watched a few videos, and it was so good. So I'm really excited to see what she has to say and to dive into this book. So that is Simply Tuesday by Emily Freeman. So we will start that on Monday. Okay, if you're new here, I'd love for you to tell me by just leaving a comment and saying I'm new, because I would love to know that you're new. As I always say every day, I go back and I read through the comments after it's finished because I don't always get a chance to see or read all the comments during the broadcast, but I so appreciate. Hi, Carrie and Kiki and someone and Al. Yeah, you guys need to use your names. My stay-at-home mom, KJ Schoolfield. Hi, guys. Jen, I am Lavonda. Welcome. I am so glad to have you guys here. Joyce, my stay-at-home mom is Joyce. Blessed Little Life, Merpegs. This is my first week on Periscope. Welcome, Lucy. Any suggestions for deals on the book? That's a good one. If your library doesn't have it or can't get it, that's where I would check first. Maybe see if any of your friends, you might post on Facebook and ask if any of your friends have it that you could borrow it for a week. And then another idea would be to check and see if the ebook is cheaper. But one other trick that I love to do is when you're ordering books from Amazon, don't ever go and actually order it from Amazon. Click on the section underneath the price that says also new and used. You can oftentimes get really nice brand new books for less than $5 by doing that. And so they come from other places that aren't Amazon and it's much cheaper. So that's another option to look at. I'm not sure, I haven't checked on that book, but check on Amazon to see if they have that option. So that's Simply Tuesday. Please don't landscape. I know. Yesterday I was doing a video interview with Michael Hyatt and he said, "Did you upgrade? Did you upgrade?" And I was like, no, I am such an old-fashioned person. I do not upgrade until I absolutely have to. So thank you for sharing. Thank you. And I saw Aaron had shared earlier. Thank you guys. That means a lot for you to share the Periscope. I don't ever ask people to share, ask people to give hearts, because I just want this to be about community. This is not about building a big following on Periscope. For me, this is just about digging in deep with my followers and connecting with you on a different level. But I always appreciate when you share. That means so much. So thank you. The upgrade is great because now you can share on Facebook. Ah, okay, that is cool. And I'm happy for them to be working out some of the bugs. I've heard maybe there's going to be fewer spam comments, so we will see about that. But I am not going to switch until I absolutely have to, because I know that Android has not, there were a lot of glitches that people were having yesterday, and I know that they've also not have released the upgrade for Android. So I will not be switching until I absolutely have to, so no one freak out about that. So the interview with Michael Hyatt is going to be for some special summit that he's doing later this year, and he interviewed a lot of online influencers, so that will not be coming out until later this year. But if you follow his stuff, I'm sure he will be sharing about it, because it sounds like it's going to be a pretty big deal. So they did for Android as well. Okay, see, what do I know? All I know is that last night I was watching a few Periscopes and people had switched to landscape and they were having a lot of issues and with comments, and they couldn't read the comments and it was glitchy, and I just thought, I'm just gonna wait. So anyway, alrighty, you should, yeah, I know people think I should, but I'm going to be old-fashioned and be stubborn like that and wait until I have to. Okay, so I told you that, which makeup do I use? I use Mary Kay, and I use the Naked palette from Urban Decay. Get it off of Amazon for eyes. That is the best eye makeup on the planet, I think. Okay, so I told you that I would give you 3 quick tips on how to finish your to-do list and show you my Google Calendar. And then at the end, I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything. I'd kind of like to especially take questions on Google Calendar, to-do list, productivity, because that's what we've been talking about this week, but you can ask me anything. It's Friday, so whatever. Okay, so here is my Google Calendar. This is, you can see it looks kind of crazy, but I will tell you, I follow multiple calendars. So for instance, I follow my husband's calendar, I follow both of my managers, I follow their calendars. That way I can know what all of my executive team, what they have going on. So a lot of times we'll need to have a phone call, or I'll need to set up a meeting, and so we just keep in the know and we follow each other's because of that. So this looks a little bit crazy, but don't let this overwhelm you, because this is a bunch of different calendars. But this is what it looks like. And so you can see these are my all-day tasks that I will put. These are all-day tasks that I put, and those are what I work off of. So when I'm writing my to-do list, I just look up here, and when I'm going and adding in all-day tasks, that's where I put them. The rest of the stuff, these are mostly other people on my team, what they have going on. Mine is only this color. And I, like that, for instance, says completely blocked off for family time. So it looks scarier than it actually is, but this calendar is not just my stuff. Yeah, it's still a lot, actually, but you know, look, okay, that's not very many things. Those are the things that have to go on my to-do list, and some of those will probably get moved, and some of those are really simple things. They're just reminders. The thing I love about Google Calendar is that you can share, like I mentioned, so that's one day. Yes, well, this, okay, let me see. So you can see, like, for later on, this is the following week. So there's not as much stuff because I haven't added as much stuff yet. And so if I were to take off all of the other people's things, this would look really, really plain, but I just wanted you to see what I actually am seeing. And what I love is that I can share with other people. So I think there's probably maybe 8 different people on my team that have access to my calendar, because they will add things. My publicist, my assistant, my managers, my husband, they can add things to my calendar too if there's a free block. The whole screen is 1 week. Yes, so this is 1 entire week here. So each of these, that's just 1 day. And I also love that I can know what's going on in other people's lives. So people who I work very closely with, and of course my husband, it's really nice that I can know, okay, he has a meeting at this time, he has this going on, he has this, and so I can know what his next day looks like without us even talking about it, because I can see his calendar. So it's really great for being able to share with other people, and if you work on a team with people, being able to see what's going on in other people's lives and add things and see their calendars. Can you add to someone else's calendar? Yes, you can add to someone else's calendar if you have access. So if they've given you access to add to their calendar, then you can add to their calendar. You can give only viewing access, or you can give admin access. So either one, you have total control over that. So when you add something you want to remember but haven't assigned it to a day yet, where do you put it? So that's where I put the all-day events. I know some people do notes, but I will literally just go and I will stick it on a day. So I will think, okay, I need to have that done in the next 3 days. So, okay, I'll stick it on this day because there's not as much on that day. And the other thing is, someone said that you can sync your Google Calendar to your phone. And yes, that's what we use as well. So I can add things from my phone. So let's say the other day I had a chiropractic appointment. So she sets up the appointment, and right as soon as it's set up, I add it right to my phone. It goes to my Google Calendar, and it goes across all of the Google Calendars. People who have access to my calendar, you can see it. So that's what it looks like, and that's how it works for me. And can you mark things as done? I just delete them when they're done. You could cross them through, and then also I will show you once the day is over with. You can't see because all of mine, I always make sure that all my tasks, these are someone else's tasks, I always make sure that they are empty, but it grays it out and kind of marks through it. So that's when the day is over with, and then the brighter colors are when it's that day or a following day. So I always delete it, or if I didn't get it done, I move it to another day. That's the drag and drop feature that I just love, that I can easily move to the other day. The other thing about Google Calendar is you can set up a recurring task. So for instance, every single Saturday, I do a couple of different things that have to do with my blog. So I set up a recurring task so that every Saturday it reminds me to do those things. You can set up a recurring specific time task. There's many different things that you can do with Google Calendar, and I love also that it's virtual. I never lose it. I can log into it from any device, and that it syncs across all devices. Do I plan my kids' schooling this way too? No, I do not. We use, in the mornings we use Sunlight, and Sunlight is all planned out for us. So I just literally go and look at what we're supposed to do that day, and I do it during the homeschool time block. And then in the afternoon we use Monarch, which is through Alpha Omega, and we use Monarch for language arts, science, and math. And that, again, is all planned out. It's on the computer, and the kids just open up their calendar that looks similar to Google Calendar, and it tells them specifically, here are your 3 or 5 tasks for today, and then they just go and do them. Okay, so 3 really quick tips to actually finish your to-do list. 1, keep it short. We've talked about this before, but this is so important. Keep it short. Put the most important things on your list that you have to do. So on my Google Calendar, you can see that most days there's only 5 to 8 tasks. That's it. Keep it short. Fewer is even better if you're struggling to finish those 5 to 8 tasks. Do 3 tasks. Keep it short and focus on the most important things. 2, make it time bound. We've talked about this. I will show you. This is my schedule from yesterday. You can see I've I got those things done, but I didn't actually cross them off. Can you believe it? And so I have specific times put down for each thing. So I make it time bound. So keep it short, make it time bound. So I put the specific time blocks on my calendars, on my to-do list, so that I know that I have enough time in the day to get done what needs to be done. And then I add in 2 hours of margin time or more, sometimes more like 4 hours, so that I have wiggle room when stuff comes up, because stuff always comes up. And then number 3 is to rework it often. This sounds like a lot of work, but it's actually not. Did you just see that? My bruise. This is my bruise still from my IV. Can you believe that? Yeah. So keep it short, make it time bound, and rework it often. So what that means for me is that I actually will oftentimes, if I'm feeling overwhelmed and if I'm feeling like this day is spinning out of control, I will sit back down and I will rework my afternoon to-do list. And a lot of times I'll take some things off, or I will fix some timing on things because maybe I didn't get to something in the morning. When I rework it halfway through the day, it helps me to kind of start fresh again instead of feeling out of control. And so if any time during the day you start feeling like things are spinning out of control, stop, take 5 minutes, look at your to-do list and figure out, what can I take off my to-do list? What can I change? What can I do at a different time? What can I delegate? Rework it so that you are setting yourself up for success. Someone just asked what my name was, and I realized I don't think I introduced myself today. My name's Crystal Payne, and I am the way to do things backwards, right? I am married to Jesse. We've been married for 12.5 years. We have 3 kids. Catherine is 10, Caitlin is 8, and Silas is 6. We homeschool our kids. We live in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and I am the founder of MoneySavingMom.com. I've been blogging there for 10 years, or blogging for 10 years, blogging on Money Saving Mom since 2007, and I am the New York Times bestselling author of Say Goodbye to Survival Mode, as well as the creator of the 14-day online course, Make Over Your Mornings. So in case you wonder, why is this woman talking about organization? Those are my, I guess, credentials. I don't know. I feel like I have so much to learn, but I just want to share with you as I'm learning what I'm doing. Reading your book right now. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Okay, so it is 7:37. I'm going to give 10 extra minutes here that I will take any questions that you have about anything to do with to-do lists, calendars, productivity, or, anything. What's your thoughts on the one-word approach to goals and resolutions? Okay, so here's my thought on that. I think it's great. I think it's great to have a focus of, this is what I'm working on in my life. For instance, this season of my life, my kind of one word is health. Give yourself grace, focus on my health, because if my health is not in good shape, nothing else in my life is going to be in good shape. So I think that's great. The problem is, I feel like it's pretty vague in the sense of you can't break it down into a bite-sized piece. It's not realistic. It's not time-bound. So it might give you a big picture idea of what you want to work on in your life, but it doesn't give you those tools and practical steps to walk that out. Do I have a cleaning routine? That is a good question. I do, sort of, in the sense of that every morning we have certain things that we do. My kids have certain jobs that they're in charge of, and I have certain things that I do. So for instance, every morning I'm going to make sure my room is cleaned up, my bathroom is cleaned up, my bed is made, and then that the main areas of our house are cleaned up, the dishes are done, the laundry is started. Now the kids help with some of that, but that is my jurisdiction of, that's what I make sure that I do every morning. It sounds like a lot, but we try to keep things really clutter-free and cleaned up, and so it goes really quickly. That usually takes me maybe no more than 45 minutes to have everything company ready, so long as I keep up on it every single day. And then at night before I go to bed, I try to have the main living areas of the home cleaned up again, and the dishes done, and the dishwasher running, so that I wake up to a clean kitchen in the morning. I always procrastinate even if I am time bound on the to-do list. Why? That is a question for you to ask yourself. Why are you procrastinating? Is it because there's something on there that you don't want to do? Is it because you're being lazy? Is it because you lack energy and maybe you need to go to the doctor and get your thyroid levels checked or something? Is it because you don't have accountability? Is it because you don't have something that you're really excited to get up and do that day? So maybe you need to come up with some way to reward yourself, or maybe a good thing would be to get an accountability partner. But like Cynthia said, just eat that frog. Just do it. Sometimes you just have to get up and do it. Do the next thing. And when you do that little thing, that will encourage you to do the next little thing. Like earlier this week when I was just going to do one drawer in my kitchen, I said I'm just going to clean out one drawer. And guess what? Once I had done that one drawer, I wanted to do more. And I ended up doing the whole entire kitchen. But it started with doing the one drawer. If I had gone in there that day and said, I'm going to clean my whole kitchen, I would have been overwhelmed. But one drawer was the first step. And that propelled me and launched me into getting the whole kitchen clean. Eat That Frog is a book that I would highly recommend. It's by Brian Tracy. You can get it at your library. It might be free somehow online, but I'm sure it's at your library. I highly, highly recommend that book. It's one that has really, really challenged me. It's a super short and easy book to read, but it's highly motivational. It's one of the best books on productivity I've ever read. Why do I write a list for that day on paper? What book again? It's Eat That Frog. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Okay, why do I write a list for that day on paper? Because I'm a pen and paper person, and I'm a visual, person. I see things in my head. I don't think through things like the way that I would think to spell a word is I'm going to picture the word. And so because I'm a visual person, I find that if I don't write it out and it's just on my computer, it doesn't get put in here. So I'm not able to think through it methodically. I'm not able to think through it carefully and make sure everything works, and maybe I need to delete something, or if I don't write it on paper, it doesn't feel so cemented in my brain, and I feel like I am just for some reason not able to be as productive if it's not on paper. That's the only pen and paper that I use. The only pen and paper I use for productivity, I guess I should clarify that. So everything else is pretty much on the internet. I said yesterday I use my inbox as my to-do list, and I use Google Calendar, like my to-do list in the sense of if it's in my inbox, it needs to be dealt with and hopefully dealt with that day. So when I am on online working, my to-do list is what I'm going to, because that's where I have the task. I need to answer that email. I need to get back with that person. I need to work on that project. I need to post that deal. It's all there. I'll have to do sometime talk more about how I use that. But so everything else is virtual except for my daily list, and it's the act of writing it out for me really helps me think through it. If it were just kind of on Google Calendar, I wouldn't be able to think through it enough. I have 4 kids and get so discouraged when I'm trying to work. Advice. So maybe you could clarify that question for me a little bit more. You get discouraged when you're trying to work around the house. You get discouraged when you're trying to work from home. If you can clarify that for me a little bit, I might be able to answer it better. How do you schedule time for social media engagement and podcast Periscope listening? So social media engagement happens as part of my working time. So I have time blocks where it's just blogging and business time. And as you could see, let me see, I'll show you on my list. Okay, so you can see at the bottom here it says schedule Facebook. I also have times, like this is crossed out, deals, emails, Facebook. So certain times throughout my business time, the business and blogging time, where I just will check into Twitter, check on Facebook, schedule some posts on Facebook, interact on Facebook. And so it's written into my schedule. I don't use my phone for social media. I think that's one thing that's been hugely helpful for me. I use my phone for Periscope. But other than that, I do not use my phone. I don't update my blog. I don't update my Facebook page. I don't update Twitter. I can get on the internet and see Twitter, and I can get on the internet and see Facebook, but I've specifically kept those off of my phone so that I'm not tempted to hop on and check something or respond to something. My computer is set aside for my work time. So when I'm on my computer, that's when I do social media. But podcast and Periscope, I do those throughout the day. Usually if I'm washing dishes, if I'm getting ready in the morning, if I'm working on a project, sometimes I have business projects that are really simple, easy ones that I can multitask. So for instance, if I'm updating Facebook, I can multitask. When I'm updating Facebook, posting deals, that sort of thing, I can listen at the same time, because that's just really easy peasy mindless work for me. So I do Periscope and podcast when I'm doing something else with my hands that I have my brain free. Do you suggest we schedule a time limit to social media? Yep. If it's sucking your life, if it's taking too much time from your day, then yes, I would definitely say so. I don't use social media for hardly anything, but I just realized I said I don't use my phone for social media. I do use Instagram on my phone. But I have to tell you, the Instagram for me is actually the one social media that I have kept completely kind of business free. I will sometimes post a link to my blog on there. I will sometimes mention, if I have a promotion or something, but most of the time I am just using Instagram. It is my playground, as I call it. So I keep up with my really close friends. I always say I won't follow you on Instagram unless I really care about what you had for breakfast that morning. And I only follow a few people, and it's my close friends that I want to engage with at a really deep level. So again, Instagram is not really business for me. I use it a little bit for business, but mostly for just keeping up with my friends. So anyway, now I can't even remember where I was going with that. Oh, I think scheduling time for social media. Yes, if it is taking too much of your time, then you need to put a boundary for it. Anything in your life that it is taking too much time, you need to put a boundary for it. It needs to go in a box. It needs to have a fence around it, because it's wasting your time. It's taking too much of your time, and it's sucking the life from you, and you can't invest that time then in something else more important. So 10 minutes are up. I am so glad that you all came today, and it was a longer scope, but it's fun to have Friday kind of be our fun, not be so regimented day. And I hope that you have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. In a future scope, can I talk about how I built the Money Saving Mom team? Yes, I'm actually with my next book. It is Money Making Mom, and it comes out November 3rd, and I've got a lot of fun things scheduled around that I'm looking forward to doing some scopes on building a business, making money online, how moms can make money, how to build a team, very specific things regarding building a business. So I want to keep those scopes separate from these morning scopes, because I know that a lot of you don't have a business, or you're not interested in making money, or you just more want to work on being intentional with your everyday life. So that's what I want to keep these scopes about, but I'm going to do some other ones in the afternoon or evenings that I will definitely let you all know when it's we're kind of in book launch mode, because I am really excited to share stuff from the book. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and that you use your minutes well, so that you can use your days well, so that you can use your life well. And I will see you back here on Monday morning for more morning motivation. Have a great day.